Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Pain One for BeatStars.com. And sometimes when I'm making a beat, at least traditionally, it still happens, my sub kicks and my just normal kicks fight a lot in the mix, such that either the sub kick isn't as loud as it could be, or the kick that I'm layering over the sub kick is losing its punch, it's losing its impact. Whole bunch of people have their various methods of dealing with that. I just wanted to share a couple of mine. Now, in addition to just picking the right sounds, I mean the thickest sub bass and the punchiest kicks with a nice mid-range punch, what a lot of producers will do is sidechain their kick to their sub kick. Now, I'm not going to show you how to sidechain simply because the process changes a lot based on the plugin you use and the DAW. There are sidechain plugins. Traditionally, people just used regular old compression. The concept is important to know, and this is what it is. So I've explained in a previous video what compression does. Right now, sidechain is actually called sidechain compression, and what compression does is that it is a peak reduction, just to simplify it, that the loudness points of a track are being reduced. So what sidechaining does is it allows you to trigger the amount of compression on one sound, on one track, with another. Now, in this case, you would be triggering the compression amount on the sub kick every time there's a regular kick. So how that would sound basically is, if you have your attack time and your threshold set so that the attack is very short, you would barely notice that as the kick is coming in, very briefly the sub bass comes out. So instantly, the very first thing you hear when that kick hits is the punch from the kick. And then immediately after, when the kick plays, the compression is reducing the volume of the sub bass. And the second the kick stops playing, the sub bass comes back in. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the punch from your kick, and you get the deep, thick bass from the sub. Now, you can achieve this effect without sidechaining. This is what I'm going to show you how to do. Phase invert. When it comes to layering a kick over a sub kick, I'm just using sounds from my Damn That Hurt Volume 2 kit. So I have the kick here, and I have the sub. When you put them together, they don't always sound great, because what's happening is they're kind of phasing each other out, so you're losing the punch of the kick. And in Acid, as I said, it's a horrible program, but this is a cool feature. You can invert the track phase. You can invert the phase on the sub kick, and now I have a little more punch. What you can also do is you can add a envelope here of just for volume, for gain, and this is exactly what I was talking about. So right as the kick is coming in, the sub kick is going out, and right as the kick ends, now the sub kick is back. And there are different ways to achieve this. I'm positive in pretty much any other DAW you can mess with the attack on a sample. And so here's the other method. Let's say I'm using a VST, a VSTi rather, and I'm just going to use Nexus since it's so common. But most of these VSTs have this option. If they don't, they're kind of whack. Here I am playing my sub note. If I change the attack time, you don't want it to be too exaggerated, you just want it to be a little subtle. So when I record that note, the kick gets a chance to shine, and you also hear the sub bass. They're no longer competing for space. So those are a couple methods, but sidechaining is a cool effect. You can use it on so many things. You can use it on reverb. I just found out it works. It's great. You can use it, especially if you're making any type of EDM. That's one of the most common effects you're going to hear in that genre. And you can use it to do what I explained in this video, which is to duck out certain sounds at certain times just to showcase others. Try some stuff out, layer some sounds, learn how to use new plugins, learn how to use familiar plugins in different ways. Just make great beats. Peace.